So if object of this particular class, then I'm going to create one new class. That class name is student demo, student demo. And in that there is a one main. I'm going to create one main in which we are going to create the object, and that is the main. In that main, I'm going to create a student. Student S is equal to new student, and I want to pass some value over here. Let's say I want to pass, and the name of this student is Rahul, and the value, the roll number of that student is, let's say, is 12. Then what happened here? So check it out in the diagram. I'm showing you the diagram for that particular. Who is making these lines here? Now I'm going to create one object. That object name is, not, till now it is not a name. It is having one ID is there. Initially ID is there. The size I'm going to increase it. One ID is there and one name is there. In that there are two constructors are also there. That is, the one is a student, which is having no argument, and one is a student, which is having a parameters for that. I'm going to define the body as well here. So that is a string type, name is here, comma, and int type ID is here, and in that I'm going to create that's it. Now what happened? The one object is created here, and that reference is holded by that particular S. That means the object name is now S. The object name is now S. Now by using this S, we are going to access that particular object. At the time of creation, which constructor is going to invoke? At the time of creation, which constructor is going to invoke? The constructor, the parameterized constructor is invoked here. Which constructor is invoked here? The parameterized constructor is invoked here. Parameterized constructor is invoked here. And it is go for the search inside the student. Is there any parameterized constructor is available in that class? In that class, is there any such kind of parameterized class is available? So what I am doing here, why it is showing an error? What to say? Multiple construction and save. Then what should we have to do? I have to write name is equal to name. Like previous example, in the last class, we are creating one circle object. Inside, we are writing like this. Check it out. In the circle class, what we are writing? We are writing, not in circle class, in student, in last class. That is a student class. In the student, what we are writing at the initially, the roll number is initialized with R. There is no confusion between this. But in this class, in this student class, what we are doing? Our formal parameter is also a name, with having a same name of my data member. And in that, the ID is same, is equal to ID. Now, if I'm going to execute that particular student, what is the value is printed, I'm going to check. Sys out S dot name and sys out S dot ID. Means I want to print the name of that student and the name of that ID. And there is no error till now, and I am going to execute the student demo now. Check out what happened. Run as Java application. Now check out the output. What is the output? Is the output the string name is null and the value is 0. How it is happen? That is what happened here. Here I am created one student object, and that is the object is created, that is this, and that Rahul is copied to in this name, because the constructor of this S is called, no? The Rahul is copied in this name, means this is a local variable created here, and the ID is copied in this ID, and there is one more ID, the same name is available there. See, same name is there and same name is there, and we are writing name is equal to name is equal to name, and ID is equal to ID. Then what happened here? अब एक फिनोमेना क्रिएट करता हूं मैं, एक फिनोमेना बताता हूं कि एक नरेंद्र मोदी जी, नरेंद्र नाम की, और एक मेरे घर में भी एक नरेंद्र. लेट्स से देयर इज अ राहुल गांधी which is leading the nation. I don't know when he is going to lead that, but he is a very big personality till now, till date. And I am also Rahul in my home. तो मेरे घर में तो मेरी ही चलेगी. The formal parameter, which is local parameter, is dominating the parameter which is the member parameter. So what happened here? The value of this name is again initialized to that local variable again. That local variable again. The value of that name is again initialized in the same local variable. Means that is not passed inside that value. And the ID is copied to in the same local variable, and that is not passed here itself. But what we want, I want the name contained by this local variable has to assigned in this name, and the ID, the value contained by this ID, has to copied in this ID. Because of the name convention, the names are the variable names are same. That's why there is that problem is arised. Here comes this keyword. Here comes this keyword. Then what should we have to do? Then I'm going to write this dot name, and here this dot ID. That means what I'm saying to the JVM, the formal parameter value has to be copied in my instance variable, and that ID has to be copied in my ID, because this is holding the reference. Because this is holding the reference of current object. What that means? This is holding the, let's suppose this S, what is this S is holding? This S is holding some address of that object, that is 1 2 3 4 5. I'm assuming that thing, the hash code of this particular object is 1 2 3 4 5. Then when the method of this object, objects are called, then this is holding the reference of this, same as whatever the holded by that S. And when the reference is holded by that particular this is the same, then we can, by the using this reference, I can use simply this dot name, which is directly pointing to my instance variable. That is the one use of that this name. So in my slide, this keyword can be used to refer the current class instance variable. That is the first example what I am showing you. So what the problem behind that? If there is an ambiguity between the instance variable and the parameter, this keyword is resolve the problem of the ambiguity. इनिशियली इन आवर एग्जांपल जब तक हमने दिस कीवर्ड का यूज नहीं किया था, क्या प्रॉब्लम आ रही थी? देयर इज एन एम्बिग्युइटी, उसको ये नहीं पता चल पा रहा था जो नेम है, वो जो नेम की जो मैंने वैल्यू कंटेन करके रखा हुआ है वो अपने वेरिएबल में वैल्यू डालना है या हमारे इंस्टेंस वेरिएबल में उस वैल्यू को प्रेस करना है. In that point of time, what we have to do here? Now I'm making a simple change here. Because the name of the instance variable and the name of the parameter is same, then to resolve the ambiguity, I have to use this dot name is equal to name and this dot id is equal to id. What I'm saying here, I'm saying that whatever the value is coming in the formal metameter, then has to pass in the name section of the instance variable. Now I'm going to execute my code. Check it out. Run as Java application. Now check out the output. The value is what we required. That value is printed here. So that is the one use of this keyword. Now I'm going to show you another example of this keyword. The second point, this can be used as an invoked class constructor. जैसा कि आप लोग जानते हैं, the constructor is used to initialize the instance variable of the class. Instance variable of the class or some initial, whatever you want at the time of the creation of that object, you can do whatever you want in that constructor. But what happen if we require to call another constructor, then we can use this keyword. That is the concept of constructor chaining. कैसे होगा ये क्लीन? चलो इसको ऐसे ही स्टार्ट करते हैं, अगले सेशन में देखेंगे. So this is the keyword. Use that. Now what I want to call when the parameterized constructor is invoked. Where today's option is there. अगले सेशन में करता हूं. अब क्या है, मुझे अपने कंस्ट्रक्टर से दूसरे कंस्ट्रक्टर को कॉल करना. दैट इज द कंसेप्ट ऑफ कंस्ट्रक्टर चेनिंग. So what is that? Constructor chaining. So what is constructor chaining actually? A constructor chaining, a constructor. What is constructor? Constructor call another constructor is called कंस्ट्रक्टर चेनिंग. जब एक कंस्ट्रक्टर दूसरे कंस्ट्रक्टर को कॉल करता है तो उसको हम कंस्ट्रक्टर चेनिंग कहते हैं. हम दो कंस्ट्रक्टर्स को कॉल कर सकते हैं. either we can call current class constructor, or a super class constructor. दो कंस्ट्रक्टर को कॉल कर सकते हैं. करंट क्लास को कंस्ट्रक्टर को कॉल करने के लिए, टू कॉल द करंट क्लास कंस्ट्रक्टर वी कैन यूज दिस कीवर्ड अगेन, and to call the parent class constructor we can use super keyword again. That is known as constructor chaining. The last point is constructor call only inside the constructor. कंस्ट्रक्टर जो है वो एक क्लास के अंदर से ही, एक कंस्ट्रक्टर के अंदर से ही कॉल कर सकता है. So how we can do that? Let's suppose this is the parameterized constructor and I want to call this constructor from that. So I am printing one message here so that we can check out the answer. This out, and the value is no argument constructor is invoked. And in the parameterized constructor I am writing the same line, the parameterized constructor is invoked. Parameterized constructor is invoked. Then what happened here? Check it out. If I am calling a parameterized constructor, then the one value is also initialized, and the constructor, whatever the invoked, that message is printed. If I am not passing any value here, that means no argument constructor is invoked. If I am going to execute it, and then the message printed, no argument constructor. Then what should we have to do? What I want call constructor. मैं parameterized constructor को call करना चाहता हूँ, उसके द्वारा उस constructor को भी call करना चाहता हूँ. तो जैसा कि मैंने कहा, as I said, this is a keyword through which we can call a constructor is its own class constructor. So how I can do this? I can simply write this and the parenthesis, and which is not having any argument. If we are not passing any argument, then its own constructor is invoked. On no argument. Oh, what we request here? We requested that the no argument constructor is invoked. No argument invoked of same class. Same object. Now, if I am going to execute this, and I am going to pass the parameter here. Let's say Rahul is there, and let's say some value 12 is there. So here, which type of constructor we are invoking? We are invoking a parameterized constructor here. The parameterized constructor is invoked. But in the very first line, we are calling this. This means ये कुछ भी करने से पहले अपना एक कंस्ट्रक्टर इन्वोक करो जिसका कोई आर्ग्यूमेंट नहीं है. Then तो पहले ये वाला कंस्ट्रक्टर चलेगा, फिर वापस अपने सारे काम करेगा. Hence both the message has to be printed. Now I'm going to execute it. Done as check out. तो पहले क्या हुआ? पैरामीटराइज कॉल किया, उसके अंदर सबसे पहले लिखा था this. तो this वाला कॉल हुआ. Then the parameterized constructor is invoked, and then these values are printed. So this concept is known as constructor chaining. One more restriction is there. What that restriction is? That restriction is this must be the first statement of the constructor block of the constructor block. Is there any doubt? किसी को कोई doubt है तो पूछ सकता है. यहाँ पे बहुत लोगों को doubt होता है इसलिए मैं पूछ रहा हूँ. I'm enabling your voice. बोलो.
The host has muted all participants.
बोलो.
यहाँ पे
किसी को कोई doubt है? No doubt. Thank you. So that is a constructor chaining. That is the concept which is said as constructor chaining. A constructor call itself is a constructor chaining. What that means is what that meaning is there. That meaning is like that. That meaning is what? If I am writing this keyword after some any other statement, means this is the second statement of this block, then it is showing an error. What error is there? Constructor call must be the first statement of the constructor. That is the written here. This must be the first statement of the constructor. So if you want to call a constructor inside constructor, then what should you have to do? You have to write the very first statement of that block. So this concept is known as a constructor chaining. We can also call the parent class constructor, which we'll discuss in the inheritance concept. In the next session, we have to discuss about the inheritance itself. So till now, what we are discussing? We are discussing this keyword. Through this keyword, we can resolve the ambiguity of the variables declared inside my constructor, that is the name, and if the name of the instance variable and name of the parameter is same, then we can, to resolve this problem, we can use this. And if I want to call the constructor of its own class, of my class, then we can use this. If I want to call the parameterized constructor through my student, then no argument constructor, then I have to pass some value here, Rahul, or not say Rahul, let's say Dixit, and the comma, let's say any values. In this scenario, what happened? If I am calling no value here, I'm passing no argument constructor is here, then the no argument constructor is invoked. In the very first line, what it is written? Written this, that is parameter. If that parameters are matched, that constructor is invoked first. Check out the answer. Check out the output. So first, what happened? No argument constructor is invoked, but in that we are writing this keyword here. In that we are writing this keyword here. So first parameterized constructor is invoked, then this keyword, the own constructor is invoked, then the another executions are done. So hence the parameterized constructor is invoked first, then no argument is printed, then the values are null, because value which is initialized by parameterized constructor is replaced by my own constructor. See, whatever the value getted from the parameterized constructor set it, that is overridden by again my no argument constructor. That's why the value is printed 0 and null here. Till this topic, thank you. If there is any problem, WhatsApp me. I can check it out and give you the answers. Our next topic is inheritance, how it is achieved and how the super parent class constructor is invoked. Till then, thank you. After 10 minutes, I am going to send you another link. You can join it in 2 minutes. Thank you.